1st December 2026, and there being no further debate, the debate on the motion stood adjourned. The House yesterday adjourned accordingly at 18:42 hours. So there you have it. That's the business that was considered on the floor of the House yesterday. In case you missed out, now you have an idea of what was transacted on the floor of the House yesterday. Remember, business resumes at 14:30, and before that, a quick look at what is expected to be considered on the floor of the House. We expect some announcements, if there will be any, urgent matters notice, if there will be any, and we expect the Minister of Transport and Logistics, Honorable Tayali, to deliver a ministerial statement on government's interventions to ensure the safety of motorcyclists on the public roads countrywide. One question for oral answer and standing order number 80 will be considered on the floor of the House, and of course, it being a Wednesday, we have private members' motions, and there are two of them. One is coming from Mr. Katako of Soloti East. It's titled, Introduced a Legal and Policy Framework to Regulate the Provision of In Vitro Fertilization, IVF, and Fertility Services, that this House urges the government to introduce a legal and policy framework to regulate the provision of in vitro fertilization or IVF and fertility services. The other private member's motion is going to come from Mr. Chanda of Kanchiria constituency, and this particular one is titled, Introduce Optional Access to Lump Sum Retirement Benefits under NAPSA. That this House urges the government to reform the retirement benefit structure under the National Pension Scheme Authority to allow contributors have the option of accessing lump sum payments upon retirement. So those are the two private members' motions that are coming up for consideration this afternoon and part of the evening, and thereafter we have resumption of debate on the supply motion that was moved by the Minister of Finance and National Planning. And so there you have it. That's the business that is expected to be considered on the floor of the House today, 12th November 2025. As usual, after adjournment, we'll be here just to give you a recap of what will have been considered on the floor of the House. Just now, we are waiting for the Speaker's procession to make its way into the chamber. Remember, business starts at 14:30 hours. Live pictures on your screen as members of Parliament are interacting as they wait for the arrival of the Speaker of the National Assembly. Do stay tuned right here as we continue to bring Parliament closer to you. Pleasant viewing.
Honorable members of Parliament, Madam Speaker.
One land and one nation is our cry. Dignity and peace in Zambia's sky. Like a noble eagle in its flight. Zambia, praise to thee, O one, strong and free. Praise be to God, praise be, bless our great Zambia, Zambia, Zambia. Remain we stand under the flag of our land, Zambia, praise to thee, O one, strong and free.
Prayer. Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness has appointed officers of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to consider with your abundant favor us, your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of such important responsibilities in this land. Let your blessing descend upon us here in Parliament assembled, and grant that we may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation, in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country, and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. Order, honorable members. I have two announcements to make. The first one, honorable members, I wish to recognize the presence in the Speaker's Gallery of the following members of staff from the National Assembly of Kenya. Mr. Benson Izofu Mwale, First Clerk Assistant, Legislative and Procedural Services and Leader of Delegation. Ms. Elia Kendi Mwenda, First Clerk Assistant, Audit, Appropriation and General Purpose Committees. Mr. Mike Kalama Mwahungu, Hansard Reporter 1. Mr. Peter Wafula Barasa, Legal Counsel 2. Ms. Irene Duku Makau, Third Clerk Assistant, Legislative and Procedural Services. Mr. Simon Tililei Kanda, Third Clerk Assistant, Legislative and Procedural Services. Mr. Sakana Ole Saoli Nkanae, Third Clerk Assistant, Departmental Committees. Mr. Stephen Otuku Otieno, Assistant Sergeant at Arms 2. I wish on behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia to receive the guests and warmly welcome them in our midst. You are most welcome. Karibu sana. The next announcement, honorable members, I wish to recognize the presence in the public gallery of pupils and teachers from Eastview School Limited in Lusaka District. On behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, I warmly welcome our visitors in our midst. I thank you. You may take your seats. Urgent matters without notice. The Honorable Member for Chama North.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. My urgent matter without notice is directed to the Minister of Water and Sanitation. Madam Speaker, Chama District was severely hit by devastating drought during the 2024-2025 rain season. And the drought has not just affected household food security, but it has also affected access to water. Madam Speaker, the most affected ward is Mazonde ward, that's in Chama North constituency. Almost all boreholes have dried up because the water table, I think, has gone too low. And as a result, Madam Speaker, our people are going through serious challenges. They are now drawing water in shallow wells, which are not safe at all. Madam Speaker, you have always encouraged us members of Parliament to engage government officials before we bring up these issues on the floor of the House. Madam Speaker, this issue was brought to the attention of the Minister of Water and Sanitation, including the Permanent Secretary. And even as early as yesterday, I even sent a photo, a video, where people are drawing water from these shallow wells. But up to this time, Madam Speaker, no action is being taken, and our people think that maybe we are not addressing their concerns. So I seek your serious indulgence. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Chama North. The Honorable Minister of Water Development and Sanitation, the Honorable Member for Chama North is complaining that you are not reachable. I encourage Honorable Members to engage the Honorable Ministers, but the Honorable Member for Chama North is saying that you are not reachable. So please, Honorable Minister, if you are not reachable, make yourself available so that you can address that concern by the people of Chama North. And Honorable Member for Chama North, also you are encouraged to engage the Minister. From what I've seen in the House, from my assessment, I believe he's an accessible member of the Cabinet. So engage him. And also the issues of drought, I don't think it's an urgent matter now, because we are even going in the rain season. So see how you can engage. And they say water is life. It's very important to have water, and clean water for that matter. But if you are not satisfied, you can put in a question. Thank you very much. The Honorable Minister wants to say something. When you have told that maybe the Honorable Minister, are you as accessible or not?
Madam Speaker, as the member correctly said, we engaged yesterday. So between now and tomorrow, we'll have an answer for him. We are aware of the situation, Madam Speaker, and we've been engaging the Member of Parliament just to assure the people of Chama that this government will do everything possible to reduce their water stress. So, Honorable Member, please come to my office again so that we outline what we are going to do in Chama. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. So the next urgent matter without notice from the Honorable Member for Lubasenshi.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity given to the people of Ruansesh constituency. Madam Speaker, before I raise the urgent matter, I would like to update you that as the Ruansesh constituency or Ruang district, we received the 20 million this morning for the payment for the farmers. This is good and it's in the right direction. It's our open prayer that more money will keep on coming so that the farmers can be quickly
I
paid.
don't hear the honorable member saying, yeah.
Me, I'm speaking on behalf of the people of Ruanseshi, so it's up to each and every member to make sure that we do justice together to ensure that the money is paid to the farmers. So this is good, Madam Speaker, and even the people of Ruanseshi are eager to see more money so that quickly they can be able to buy fertilizer, seed, and other things that they needed to do in their fields. Now, coming to my urgent matter without notice, Madam Speaker, directed to the Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security. Madam Speaker, just yesterday night, I received the phone calls from my people in Ruansesh constituency and other people within Lusaka, issue of scammers and the hackers who are sending messages that impia shawarandana shisa, send UNRCs, send CDF, CDF money as released, and other messages to say, use this number, I'm waiting to receive the money. Madam Speaker, for lack of information, at times people are intended to lose money, as 3 people lost 6,000, the other one 2,100, then the other one 900 kwacha. Now, I would like to ask guidance from the Minister of Home Affairs. It's this house that passed the law which is to do with the cyber law. And people would love to know if this law is really helping the situation, or what measures that the government is putting in place to ensure that, one, we secure the resources of our people, especially our people in rural areas, Madam. Because if this issue remains unchecked, people will keep on losing money. So I seek your guidance, Madam Speaker. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member of Ruanseshi. I'm sure all of us have received those messages. Even me today, this morning, I received one message. Too many, imwe too many. Meaning, so we receive those messages. So please, let's be careful as we dispatch that money. But Honorable Member for Ruanseshi, maybe what you can do is put in a question, because this issue has been ongoing, so it does not qualify to be treated as an urgent matter without notice. That concludes urgent matters without notice. We go to the next item. I have permitted the Honorable Minister of Transport and Logistics to present a ministerial statement. The Honorable Minister of Transport and Logistics.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. For the avoidance of sounding discourteous, kindly permit me to place on record, Madam Speaker, my sincere gratitude for your according me this opportunity to issue a ministerial statement on the government's interventions to ensure the safety of motorcyclists on public roads countrywide, following your directive on Wednesday, 29th October 2025. Madam Speaker, the government has observed with deep concern the increasing number of road traffic crashes involving motorcycles and tricycles across the country. These accidents have resulted in a growing number of fatalities and debilitating injuries, particularly among young people who depend on motorcycles and tricycles for their livelihoods. Motorcycles have become an important mode of transport, especially in peri-urban and rural areas where conventional transport services are limited. However, their rapid growth, if not accompanied by proper regulation and safety measures, poses serious risks to the riders, passengers, and other road users. Madam Speaker, while it is difficult to determine the exact number of motorcycles in Zambia due to many being unregistered, available official data provides some insight. Allow me, therefore, to share the statistics covering the last 3 years and the first 3 quarters of 2025. Number 1. In 2022, the number of motorcycles registered on the RATSA Electronic Zambia Transport Information System was 4,296. During the same year, there were 1,890 recorded motorcycle road traffic crashes with 112 fatalities. 2. In 2023, there were 9,755 motorcycles registered. In the same year, 3,051 motorcycles were involved in road traffic crashes, which resulted in 262 fatalities. Number 3, in 2024, 9,414 motorcycles were registered and 3,526 motorcycle road traffic crashes were recorded, resulting in 331 fatalities. 4. Between January and September 2025, a total of 2,795 motorcycle crashes were recorded across the country, resulting in 375 fatalities. 5. During the period January to September 2025, a total of 8,463 motorcycles were registered. During the same period, 2,795 motorcycle-related road traffic crashes were recorded, resulting in 375 fatalities. The majority of these crashes occurred in urban and peri-urban areas, including Lusaka, Copperbelt, Northwestern, and Eastern provinces. The data clearly indicates an upward trend in motorcycle-related crashes and fatalities, underscoring the need for a coordinated national response. The other reason for concern is that from the motorcycle accidents, we are ending up with survivors who are amputees. Our young people who are in their prime productive age are being decapitated. This is a sad situation, as our country is neither at war nor infested with landmines. Madam Speaker, the main causes of motorcycle crashes as established by RATSA include: 1. Unlicensed and untrained riders. 2. Overloading and carrying multiple passengers. 3. Failure to wear helmets and other protective gear. And lastly, 4. General non-compliance with traffic rules and regulations. Madam Speaker, in response to these challenges, my ministry, working with RATSA, the Zambia Police, and our local authorities, has continued to implement and scale up the following interventions. 1. Enforcement and licensing. RATSA has intensified roadside checks and compliance operations to ensure that motorcycles are registered, licensed, and insured. Number 2. All motorcycle riders are required to undergo both theory and practical driving tests before obtaining a license. RATSA has decentralized motorcycle testing and licensing to all provinces and districts countrywide to enhance accessibility for these services. Number 2, safety, education, and sensitization. Continuous road safety campaigns are being undertaken through community radio stations, schools, and through our traditional leaders. Traditional leaders areas to raise awareness on helmet use, speed limits, and passenger limits. Recently, the agency has undertaken sensitization campaigns in eastern and northwestern provinces. Number 2, the ministry has also partnered with the Zambia Road Safety Trust, World Vision Zambia, Yengo, and Zambia breweries to promote responsible riding and helmet distribution programs. This August House may also recall that in September 2025, Zambia hosted over 1,500 bikers from across the Southern African region for the exhilarating Mosio Tunya rally, which this Honorable Minister of Transport participated in. When we rode our bikes from Lusaka to Livingstone, eventually to Kazungula and back to Livingstone before we rode back to Lusaka. Madam Speaker, primarily to raise awareness on this very, very disturbing trend. The event, Madam Speaker, was indeed a success and did bring into focus the need for safety for motorcycle riders. Number 3, stakeholder collaboration. My ministry is working closely with the local authorities to harmonize the regulation of motorcycle and tricycle operations within towns and districts. Number 2, discussions are also underway with insurance companies to develop affordable third-party insurance products for motorcyclists. Number 4, legislative reform. Madam Speaker, the government through my ministry is in the process of amending the Road Traffic Act number 11 of 2002 and the Road Traffic Public Service Vehicles Regulation number 63 of 2013 to provide for the licensing of motorcycles and tricycles as public service vehicles for the carriage of passengers and goods in peri-urban and rural areas. The proposed amendments have already been circulated for ministerial consultation, and upon cabinet approval and broader stakeholder engagement, the bill will be presented to this August House for consideration. This amendment will provide a comprehensive framework for licensing, training, enforcement, and safety compliance specific to motorcycles and tricycles. Madam Speaker, the government is also addressing infrastructure-related factors that contribute to motorcycle crashes. Working with the Road Development Agency, RDA, and local authorities, we are doing the following. Number 1, improving road markings and lighting in high-risk areas. 2, supporting designated motorcycle parks and stops within markets and township areas. 3, we are also ensuring that where possible, roads should provide motorcycle lanes. Madam Speaker, while the government continues to implement these measures, the safety of motorcyclists ultimately depends on the responsible conduct of riders, passengers, and motorists alike. All road users must exercise caution and consideration, particularly towards vulnerable groups such as motorcyclists. I therefore wish to appeal to the general public to 1, ensure that every rider is licensed and trained. 2, riders and passengers to always wear helmets and reflective jackets. 3, carrying multiple passengers or overloading must be avoided. And lastly, riders to refrain from reckless riding and overspeeding. Parents and guardians should also discourage underage riding of motorcycles on public roads. Madam Speaker, the new Dawn administration remains committed to ensuring that Zambia's transport system is safe, inclusive, and accessible to all, including users of motorcycles and tricycles. Through a combination of strong enforcement, legislative reform, and public awareness, we are determined to reduce road traffic fatalities and promote safe mobility for all road users. I, therefore, wish to assure this august House that my ministry will continue to work closely with Parliament, the Ministry of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development, RATSA, the Zambia Police, local authorities, the private sector, and the general public at large to make Zambia's roads safer and more efficient. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable members are now free to ask questions on points of clarification on the ministerial statement presented by the Honorable Minister of Transport and Logistics. We start with the Honorable Member for Shangombo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I heard the Minister urging parents to talk to the motor riders so that they don't overload, they put on helmets. But in a situation where the people in charge of maintaining law and order on the roads, especially in Eastern Province, Northwestern Province, where there are an influx of motorcycles, you will find a motorcycle passing through a checkpoint, the rider and 3 passengers with helmets, but the traffic police officers have allowed such kind of transport or mode of transport to pass through their checkpoint. What should be done to such kind of traffic officers? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Transport and Logistics.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you to the Honourable Member for Shangombo for that potentially good question, because obviously the Honourable Member misunderstood me. I did not ask on parents to do so, that they should be asking riders to be wearing helmets. When I mentioned parents in the statement, Madam Speaker, I was advising that parents must not allow underage riders, and in that case I'm sure I'm referring to their children. But the Honourable Member does touch on a very important point, Madam Speaker, where law enforcement officers, those in the Zambia Police, who are under the Ministry of Home Affairs, allowing with impunity the recklessness of or not only overloading the motorbikes, but also doing so without the use of protective helmets. Madam Speaker, this is a scourge that we as a country are facing, and it requires all of us to get involved, because the consequences of these motorcycle crashes, Madam Speaker, shall have serious repercussions on government's aspiration to really utilize the young, productive population of this country to be able to work for the country and really help the country achieve economic gains. We really were working very hard, Madam Speaker. We want to collaborate with the Ministry of Home Affairs so that the Zambia Police can equally come to the party, to be able to help us enforce these existing road traffic rules and regulations. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Iteshi.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to ask a follow-up question. And Minister, thank you for your statement. Indeed, the situation, Madam Speaker, is alarming, especially in rural areas. We are witnessing these accidents each and every day. Some of them, like you said, Minister, they involve more than 2 people on one motorcycle. Now, Minister, in your statement, you mentioned that one of the causes is these riders who are unlicensed and who are not trained. Because at the process of licensing, somebody is taken through some level of understanding the rules of a motorcycle. And you've mentioned that RATSA is now in all the districts. Unfortunately, in Itestezi, we don't have RATSA. I want to find out when RATSA is going to establish an office in Iteses, because the distance for the people from Iteses to go to Choma, to come to Lusaka, just to license a motorcycle, I think for them that do not work. As soon as they buy a motorcycle, they straight away start driving, and it is the same case in most of the main areas where we don't have physical offices. When are we expecting RATSA to set up an office in Iteses? Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Transport and Logistics.
Madam Speaker, and thank you to the Honourable Member for Iteses for a very importantly critical question. I wish to agree and concur with the Honourable Minister that it is very unfortunate that, yes, indeed, we do have quite a number of unregistered motorcycles on our roads. And the reason may be attributed, Madam Speaker, to a number of factors, one of which is our porous borders, whereby, you know, our people who are having to do, trade with some of our neighboring countries are having to take merchandise across the border, and part of the payment is a motorcycle. And so, owing to the porous nature of our borders, they simply ride back in the country. And those particular motorcycles are devoid of the necessary paperwork that would allow for the registration of such a motorbike. And so, we are working hard to try and create some kind of an amnesty where we can allow them to come in so that we can regularize their acquisition of those particular motorcycles. As to the specific question of when RATSA could actually come to Itezi, Madam Speaker, I would like to encourage the honourable members, not just the member for Itezi, is that where a problem of such a nature is truly rampant and urgently needs to be resolved, we must not wait to come to the August House. I think that we do run an open door policy as an administration. Come through and make your case. I think that this is why we are called the people's representatives, and that we can look at your particular case of Itezi and see how we could, urgently resolve it. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member Dudumwezi.
Madam Speaker, thank you so very much. Part of my question, I think, has been responded to by the Honorable Minister on Itezi. I wanted to make a case for Kalomo. However, Madam Speaker, allow me to ask a question. Honorable Minister, a motorbike requires some degree of energy. Are you going to consider putting up age limit? For example, Western Province.
Question.
To maybe say any age above 60 years are not allowed to ride the motorcycle in Western Province, because at that age, excuse me, at that age, a lot of our colleagues from Western Province will have lost energy to ride the motorbike, to reduce these accidents. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Now the Honorable Member for Dudumwezi is treading on dangerous waters. The Honorable Minister of Transport and Communications and Logistics, sorry.
Madam Speaker, I doubt whether I'm competent to enter such a tribal war-inclined question. But the Honourable Member makes reference, and I was hoping that he would talk about the lower age limit. Now he's going to the higher, age limit. Just to say that, Madam Speaker, one of the reasons why we need to renew our licenses is that we must undergo some kind of re-examination, because even for those of you that perhaps are, motorists who got your licenses at a much tender age, over time and with age, your eyesight becomes poor. You are no longer a 20/20 vision. So I guess it is that kind of criteria which should really inform us as to at what stage should we prevent somebody from, indeed riding a motorcycle or indeed a motor vehicle. I think that this particular problem, as was being spoken to by the ministerial statement, is mostly involving young persons. And I think it's very important for us to be able to ascertain at which point, at which age is it acceptable to allow young persons to be using public roads for motorcycle riding. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. We can stop the clock. There was an indication for a point of order. Honorable Member for Lunte, what's the point of order?
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, when standards are being developed, it's important that they are clarified. Madam Speaker, it's now appearing as though us, your members, are irresponsible when every time we bring issues to the floor of the House where we have official allocation of a position to speak for our people and also give checks and balances to the executive, they come to admonish us to go to their offices. The Honorable Minister, as he was responding to a question posed by the MP for Itej, repeats this very unfortunate directive, which is not supported by any standing order. Madam Speaker, why should your members be told, come to my office before you bring this matter to the House, as if their offices, we also have positions there, when our positions are here? Madam Speaker, this matter should be clarified. I seek your serious ruling as to whether these ministers should be telling us to go to their offices when in fact we should be speaking here on the floor of the House. Is it in order to continue on that trajectory, Madam Speaker?
Order, honorable members, order. The guidance to go to the honorable ministers, I think it comes from the presiding officer. So the honorable member for Lunte is raising a point of order on the presiding officer, which is a breach. But honorable member for Lunte, on a serious note, the reason why honorable members are encouraged to engage the honorable ministers is because we want to see that the problems are addressed. By just coming to mention them on the floor of the House, debate, talk about them, I've realized that they don't bear the fruit that we want them to bear. And yet when you engage, the problem can be sorted out. About the issue of the payment for maize by food reserve. It was brought here, the minister was informed, and yesterday I encouraged the honorable member for Luvaseshi that some money is being arranged. Please engage the minister. And the people in his constituency have received their money. We want results, we want things to happen, to be done. We don't just want to talk. I know you are representing the people from your various constituencies, and they would want to hear that you are speaking on their behalf. But talk alone will not solve their problems. That's why we encourage you to interact with the honorable ministers, with the honorable whatever agencies, responsible agencies, so that you can resolve your issues. So that guidance, I think, still stands, and I believe is the correct way in which we can address the challenges that you honorable members are facing. So there was nothing, the point of order is not admitted. We can make progress. The honorable member for Mufulira.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, I have followed you very well from the statement you issued and also the responses. And I can say that you actually understand this issue we are talking about, not just as a minister, but also personal level. I would say that in Mufulira, we are not spared. There's actually an outbreak of motorbikes, and also fatalities are being experienced. Before I ask my question, Madam Speaker, allow me to give him some examples, because I've interacted, I've stopped by these riders and I've asked them in Mufulira. One, I asked them why they are riding an unregistered motorbike. And you gave an answer, actually. The same answer you gave. Someone crosses across the border into Congo with some bags of maize or merchandise, and they come back with a motorbike. And they have to raise something like 6,000 kwacha, far more than the value of the motorbike, to have it registered. So that's the feedback I got. I'm not able to raise the money to register it. The other ones I interacted with, they were riding without a helmet, and seemingly younger, similar to the question that one member from Dudumwezi I said, and all they told me was it's survival. So if even the passengers they are carrying are not putting on helmets, the rider has no license, and all they're saying is, I have to survive, boss, I have to survive. So basically, the laws and the measures you have put across, even the riders, those who are on motorbikes, they actually know what is simply happening is lawlessness, disregard for the law. Now, the motorbikes are here to stay. Honorable Minister, are you considering, one, issuing an amnesty to have these motorbikes registered and certified for free? Let people just go to the RATSA offices, have them registered, have them certified, so that we do away with the issue of unregistered motorbikes. Secondly, I don't think that it's very costly to train a motorbike, a rider. Shouldn't you consider also sending out either your officers or some government departments across to have these, I would call them training schools or sessions, so that people can just go there, they allocate themselves time, they are trained how to ride. We remain with the problem of headgear and anything else, but in terms of registration, provide amnesty so that people can have them registered. Provide schools or trainings. Give a period so that all those young ones, because these are mostly young people who are finding those fields, can be accorded that opportunity to be trained how they can, safely ride these motorbikes. Otherwise, they are not going anywhere. They are here to stay. So government must provide an environment to avoid fatalities. I submit, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. That was more now a debate than a question. The Honorable Minister of Transport and Logistics.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much. Thank you to the Honourable Member for the question. I'm left to wonder at which stage the Honourable Member walked in the House. Because the member refers to amnesty, which is an issue that I already tackled, that through RATSA we're trying to see how we can bring in these people through an amnesty and regularize the acquisition of those particular motorcycles. We also must, Madam Speaker, if I were to make comments to one of his points about how we can bring them in and train them. I don't know where this culture of fear for institutions came from in this country. We ought to demystify and to de-risk, to encourage our people to come through to these institutions. They are there to save them, because our young people are just not coming forth, and that you have to go out there, and it's as though when you go out there, it's more punitive, as though, as opposed to being corrective. And so we are working very, very hard. And this is why I call upon also all members of Parliament, and through you, to the general public, that we ought to work together. Because, like the Honourable Member clearly states, this new phenomenon, and it's new in Zambia, that it's as though we woke up one day and lo and behold, there are motorcycles everywhere. In certain jurisdictions, such as those in the Far East, in China, even in places like India, in West Africa, in Kenya, Madam Speaker, in Tanzania, you've got plenty of motorcycles, and yet not so much of these accidents. They have come to coexist. There is mutual respect which has been developed over time. And so all hope is not lost. We too in Zambia shall get there. Because like you say, this is a new form of transport which is affording some of our people, an affordable way of getting from one point to another. So, Madam Speaker, I guess that would be my response to the Honourable Member from Fudera. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Mfumbwe.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I want to thank actually the Honorable Minister for the statement given. Minister, Mfumbwe is a rural constituency, and we have a lot of motorcycles. I remember very well, previously you could see that firearms were being licensed at the council. Is your ministry not thinking of coming up with a desk at a district level where they can do the registration of the motor vehicles as well as the licenses, just maybe to help the people in the rural areas actually have actually also this facility? Because the issue of going to district by district, it might take too long. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Transport and Logistics.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Honourable Member from Mfumbwe asked a very apt question, and I wish to concur with him that, as a matter of fact, such efforts, I think, that are underway because of the devolution policy of this administration. These are some of the services that we've devolved